have teacher-centered approaches and student-centered approaches. Teacher-centered is where the teachers get control of the pace, how much they learn, and how they learn it. And then student-centered is where the learning environment is structured to optimize the student's construction of meaning through interaction with their peers and content. So it's more of a, you're talking and learning rather than just being talked at. When thinking about how to do learning objectives, you have to think about 3 different features. Performance, which is what the learner is expected to do, and things like this is what knowledge do students need to demonstrate, and what task will they actually need to accomplish. Conditions, which is how the learner is expected to do it. You should describe the conditions under which the students will perform and what methods and materials they'll use. And then criteria, which is how well they need to perform. This is where you decide what constitutes acceptable performance, and when possible, you should specify how their performance will be measured. And then on top of that, you need declarative knowledge. You need to decide which 3 of these you're going to use. Declarative knowledge, which is facts. Procedural is how to do something, and conceptual is reflecting on the understanding of a connection. So we've gone through Bloom's taxonomy, and then the top of the list should pretty much be reviewed. It's just a category, it's just higher level thinking and lower level thinking. And when deciding on these learning objectives, you should ask yourself whether or not you need to use lower level thinking, like remember, understand, and apply, or higher level, like analyze, evaluate, and create. Thinking about the type of knowledge you want the students to acquire at the level of which you want them to demonstrate it will help you choose your best teaching method to teach that section. So one method is direct instruction, which is where the teachers create the structured learning environment. This is used to maximize academic learning time, which is the time that students spend in a meaningful, appropriate task. And it does this by emphasizing the completion of learning tasks and by minimizing off-task behaviors such as puzzles, games. Teacher-student interactions are not directly related to the academic tasks as well. This also includes a very high degree of control, and all students have to learn at the same pace. It's really good for grades 1st through 3rd, where a lot of the instruction is focused on your basic skills, such as reading, mathematics, spelling, handwriting. And it's effective for lower level objectives in Bloom's taxonomy, which were the remember, and the top 3 like that. It's good for initial instruction of the lower achieving students, and it's also very good for teaching skills to students with disabilities. So teaching methods based on behaviorism, and just to recap, behaviorism is with its roots in operant conditioning, which is where the individual's behavior is the result of the 2 environmental stimuli. So there's 4 structured types of practice. Controlled practice. This requires careful monitoring to prevent the students from learning incorrect procedures or concepts. Rather than giving the students the right answers, teachers are going to provide the feedback, telling the students what they did correctly, prompting for clarification or improved answers, and reteaching when it's necessary. And then the next one is guided practice. And this is when students will practice on their own while the teacher provides the reinforcement. An example of this is high school students might complete a worksheet conjugating Spanish verbs as the teachers move throughout the room to check their progress. Independent practice is when students work on their own, and this is just traditional homework. Distributed practice is short and frequent practice periods, which are more effective than fewer but longer practice opportunities, especially for children in the early elementary grades because they can't stay focused for very long. To foster the long-term learning, teachers will also provide weekly and monthly reviews and reteach as necessary. So when using this for a typical day for before, during, and after when using direct instruction, before you're going to want to review previous day's lectures, check your students' work, and this allows the teachers to identify the concepts or skills where they need to reteach. Then they'll introduce the new content by activating the prior knowledge through the discussion of learning objectives and an overview of lesson, which are just to help the students know where they're going to provide a meaning for the material. During, the teachers should control the pace and presentation of the new material. They should present all their information in small steps to be mastered one step at a time, and provide a lot of examples, use models, and re-explain challenging concepts. They check for understanding by using conversion questions that call for a right answer, or questions that require students to explain their answers, things to make sure that your students are actually getting the information that you're teaching them. And after, once students have learned the material, they can progress through the 4 structured types of practice, which again are controlled, guided, independent, distributed. This is the video.
So we just have a video. It's an example of direct instruction, and there's a question to go with it. It's like a 7-minute video, but it's all about direct instruction in the classroom. And it's really interesting because most of the time when you think of direct instruction, you think of just a teacher standing up and lecturing, but this is a really good example of using it in an upper level class where there's actually a lot of participation. And so a question that we have going along with it is, what engagement strategies can you learn from Mrs. Culver? And so that's just something to think about during the video. Wow. Flies. The dog ate this video.